All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Wednesday, happy hump day, November the 17th, 2021. Hope you're doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow, the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate you all tuning in. What is going on? Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. And yours truly is ready to get after today, folks. I can tell you that much. I've been seeing a lot of things over the last 24 hours that have got me fired up. So let's do it. We're going to have ourselves a Wednesday. Again, taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Got a packed Wednesday today. Of course, we're live at Tin Roof 5 to 7, taking your questions, your comments, everything else. Hanging out at old Tin Roof in the Vista in downtown Columbia. But again, I want to hear from you today on the phone lines, 843-790-3377. As again, we continue to look ahead to Saturday's game against the Auburn Tigers. I see Todd Smith, Jeff, both Jeffs, Brennan M., Tanner Land, Lindsey Hagler, Cody Gaskins, James Kendall Travie. What's up? Also in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, to be sure, your questions are answered. Guys, again, a lot to get into. Before we do, I want to say about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys are going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be, the last thing you should be dealing with is paperwork, dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you guys. Use this technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. All right, what's up? Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. And I have a lot to say today, but I'm going to let you guys start it off with your questions. I want to be sure we get to your questions, and I'm sure y'all have a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. Jeff Sweat said, based on JB's conversation with Gamecocks Online and his sacks, he stated that his rollout was keyed in on during the Florida game. Yeah, no kidding. Teams watch film, and, I like Mason Brown, and I like his escapability, and I like what he provides this team. But, yeah, you can't have one move. You can't have one move because defensive coordinators are smart too, and they're trying to win also. So you can't have one move. You can't have one move. Lance Player, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. AJ Bowers, what's up? Hunter Herlong. Also, it is game day for women's basketball as Dawn Staley's squad takes on the team from the upstate at home, looking for their 11th straight win in the rivalry. So, again, it is rivalry day. Rivalry day for women's basketball. Also, the ring ceremony at the CLA. A lot of exciting stuff happening. The banner will be raised for the Final Four. Going to be a great night at Colonial Life Arena for sure. We'll be tuned in to that. Hunter Herlong says, hopefully we get this W this weekend for that Victory Monday discount in the store and maybe some more hoodies. Yeah, Hunter, I hope so as well. If we don't, which, hey, we will. Let's just speak into existence. We will. But definitely stay tuned, man. We're going to be running Black Friday specials and Cyber Monday and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I'm wearing this on purpose, by the way. You see what the shirt says. Perspective. And if you really want me to start this show off with a rant, I'm really trying to contain myself. I know I know many of you, that's why you tune in. That's why you tune in, which is awesome, which is great. But I just don't like to give slapdicks the time of day. I don't. I don't necessarily like to do it, right? And I'm begging Coach Ford to comment today. I'm begging him to comment. I'm begging him to tune in. I've seen all his sarcastic, dumbass comments on all the posts yesterday on Facebook. I've seen them all. I just, again, it's not the majority. It's not. But, I'm just baffled from last night on Twitter and continuing into today, the last 24 hours. I'm baffled at the amount of people that are so miserable. I'm just baffled. I'm baffled. The amount of people that are so miserable coming into this week. Because, again, I'll tell you guys like this, okay? And, again, I feel like I'm just totally off topic here today. This is kind of coming out of left field, so I apologize for that. But I'm a human being. I see the comments. I read them, whatever. Let me just put it this way, though. We are 5-5 right now, okay? We're 500. We are 5-5. We're not 2-8. We're not 3-7. We're not 4-6. We are 5-5. At 5-5, this season, you can view this season in one of two ways, positively or negatively. You're 5-5, 500, okay? You're 500. It is up to you. It is in the eye of the beholder what type of season we've had as the Must Champions try to infiltrate our mic setup here. It is up to the eye of the beholder, right, to determine this season a success or a failure. And you're entitled to your opinion on it. You are. But the amount of people, again, guys, a year ago to the date, we had just fired our head coach because things got so terrible. I feel like there are a lot of people out there that have short-term memory loss or something, or just have a short memory period. Because you can bitch and moan that the season hasn't gone how you think it should have, or, listen, it hasn't been perfect. I mean, there's no doubt it has not been perfect. Okay? Hasn't been perfect. But when I start seeing people saying, well, we haven't done anything this year. If we'd have played this non-conference schedule last year, we'd have the same record. And, bro, to compare this season to last season in any way is laughable. I'm laughing at you. How quickly people forget waking up the morning of the Ole Miss game last year. The least game day feeling game day of all time. Waking up with no semblance of hope. Not even an ounce of optimism or hope for the football program. I think people forget how bad it was. I do. I think people forget how bad it was. I just don't get it. I think one of the biggest problems, one of the biggest issues, people are still stuck in the 2009 to 2013 mindset. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of that mindset. We're not going 11-2. We're not. Steve Spurrier's the greatest thing to happen to Gamecocks football. Sometimes I think he was the worst thing, though. Because he has just brainwashed some people to thinking that South Carolina football is something it's not. And again, I'm not saying that from an inside the building thing, that we should be, let's just go 6-6 every year. But as a fan, you know what you're signed up for. You know what you're signed up for. And especially in year one. I mean, the lack of perspective just kills me. It kills me, bro. It kills me. Again, has everything been perfect? Absolutely not. But to insinuate that this season to this point has just been some colossal failure, that level of ignorance, I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend how you can just be all 110% just negative. People claim I'm negative. And there's some people on in Gamecock Nation to make me look like a sunshine pumper. Truly. Truly. Rhett Godboll says we're 5-5. Why does it feel like we're 2-8? Does it feel like we're 2? I don't feel that, Rhett. I really don't. I don't feel like we're 2-8. Why do people feel that way? Again, have we always won pretty? Absolutely not. We beat Vandy by a single point. I get it, man. I get it from that degree, but we won. I'd rather be 5-5 in an ugly way than be 3-7, but we're scoring 40 a game. I genuinely believe, actually, there are Gamecock fans out there that would rather us be 3-7, but we're scoring 35 to 40 points per game than be 5-5 with the way we've gone about it. I really genuinely believe that, which is stupid. You're an idiot if you think that. You're just a complete idiot. You're a complete idiot. There's no way to put it. You're just not very smart. So, again, I don't like to highlight those people. I don't like to highlight people like Coach Ford, to be totally honest with you, because it's not everyone, and the 97% that are rational, normal fans, they're not very loud, right? There's no need to be, right? There's no need to be. You don't have a point to make. You don't have you don't have short man syndrome and feel the need to beat your chest, right? You don't have that. You don't have that. The loudest man is the most insecure one most of the time. So, I just, again, has it been perfect? And you have to trust Shane Beamer will make the necessary changes in the post. But some of these comments, man, like it just kills me. It just kills me, man. And I'll tell you this. Again, I don't know. It's almost exhausting. I almost want to move off it. It's exhausting. I don't want to, I'd rather just take you guys' questions. I don't want to spend the time giving it more attention than it deserves. Eric Fryer says we were competitive in 2 of our losses, and according to the coaching staff, the team is 5-5 with our third-string quarterback and a first-year staff, all brand new. After week 5 last year, the team was less than 500 and never got better. Again, talked about this morning with a good friend of mine. Guys, we are. Do you realize this? Let's take a trip down memory lane. When yours truly dropped predictions for the 2021 season, okay, game by game season predictions. Nobody balked at me saying we'd go 6-6. Nobody balked at it. I think everyone was like, yeah, 6-6, good year. Hey, after the last 2 seasons, getting to a bowl game is going to feel like a massive success. True, word, cool. I had us picked 5-5 at this exact point right now. Not exactly the way we've gotten there. I had a win over Tennessee, lost to Florida. But everything else had it exactly the same. Exactly the same. So I've been pretty good thus far. But you also realize I had us picked 5-5 with Luke Doty 110% healthy and taking every single snap this season. Do you realize that? So if you'd have told me in the preseason that Luke Doty, not only would he not start every game healthy, he wouldn't take a single snap this year 100% healthy. And if you'd have told me that we'd be in week 11, or week 12 technically, with our third string quarterback under center, and you would have told me how much, and you would have told me that we would have had a grad assistant have to put the pads back on and play, guys, I'd have told you were a 3-9 football team. I mean, genuinely. I would have genuinely said, I think you might lose. I think there's a good chance you lose to East Carolina. I think there's a chance you might even lose to Troy. I think you definitely lose to Florida. You definitely lose to Tennessee. You definitely lose to Auburn. I'd have had you 3-9. Honestly, I really would have. So, again, I think where the misery comes from for folks, I think here's what we're seeing, right? And my good buddy Phil Harris, he would always call in and chime in and point this out. Okay? But I think here's what we're finally seeing. We saw the folks in the preseason that said 8-4, 8-4, 8-4. And folks like myself and my friend Phil Harris and some of you others looked at those people like, you're setting yourself up for failure. You are. You are. Okay? You are. Bottom line, you are. What you're now seeing is those people reacting to the reality that they were wrong. They set their expectations far, 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 far too high. They were wrong. And so now you're just seeing those people, I think, come back out and bitch and moan because things aren't going exactly the way they thought they were supposed to go. I think that's really what it comes down to. Because, again, for me, I'm a Gamecock, same as you, but my perspective was totally different. I realized the over-under was 3.5. You've already hit the over. And you've done it without your starting quarterback healthy. And I see Dax James comment says, what you're missing is that Doty is not better than Zeb or Jason Brown. Then Dax, then you should go fire Shane Beamer and go hire a new football coach. If you, and again, I don't know, Dax, if you're an offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach, if you're just another slapdick commenting on Facebook, whatever, to each their own, whatever, it is what it is. All respect to you and appreciate you tuning in. But God, if Jason Brown is just head and shoulders better and Luke Doty should transfer, then my God, do you not question Shane Beamer's talent evaluation? Do you not question Shane Beamer's ability to evaluate a starting quarterback? It's a cop-out, bro. It's a cop-out to say Doty sucks. That's a cop-out. Too much of the credit, too much of the blame. Blame the quarterback. Blame the quarterback. Blame the quarterback. Guy didn't play a single snap healthy, man. Give it a rest. Just give it a rest. Guy didn't get a 284-yard rushing performance like Jason Brown got against Florida. Give it a rest. Like, for the love of God. And if you think Zeb Nolan's better than Luke Doty, you're an idiot. I mean, you're just an idiot. There's no other way. You are an idiot. I don't care if he beat Vanderbilt. You're an idiot. Looney Tune talk. It's Looney Tune talk to say that. Got a lot of offensive coordinators in the comments. A lot of them. A lot of them. By the way, side note, on a positive, Dawn Staley just got asked. Why is the freaking mic keeps cutting out? All right, we're good here. Ashlynn Watkins of Cardinal Newman, 5-star, committing to South Carolina, class of 2022. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jonathan Lee, I think Doty was not 100%. The O-line needs to get better. No kidding. No kidding. Again, I want to take your questions, your comments, everything else. I've been the guy all season long preaching perspective. I'm not telling you to be blindly optimistic. I'm not telling you to be sunshine pumpers. I'm not telling you to be critical or not be critical. I'm not telling you to not hold people accountable. But man, it just the let me put it this way: the output and the attitude of people doesn't line up. Doesn't line up. It doesn't line up to me. Like the misery level of people in the record, it doesn't equate. If we were 3-7 or 2-8, I'd get it. I'd get it. I'd totally get it. But I mean, we're 5-5. I mean, what? Let me ask you guys this: what is Shane Beamer? I have had this conversation earlier in the season. What has Shane Beamer done or doing in this year that hasn't been done for the history of Carolina football? What's he doing that hasn't? We're 500. I mean, in year one, I mean, what is? I would challenge. Let's go back and look at the first-year records of every head coach to ever coach here. What a fun project that would be. I mean, I'm curious. Let's see if anybody knows this, because I don't. What is the best record ever for a first year for a head coach? Like, I'm curious. I don't know. I'm asking you all that question. Does anybody know? Does anyone know? Because all I know is Steve Spurrier went what? 7-5, which incredible performance. Or was it 6-6? Was it 6-6? I think it was 7-5 because you beat Florida and Tennessee. I'm pretty positive. And And now I'm curious. I think it was 7-5. 7-5. Yeah, incredible season. Incredible. Spurrier went 7-5. Hell of a year. Shane Beamer could still go 7-5, believe it or not. And that was losing a bowl game. Remember, you lost to Mizzou 38-31. You also lost to Clemson that year. Lou Holtz went 0-11 in his first year. I don't know what I don't know what Brad Scott, Sparky Woods, I don't know what those guys did. Go back as far as you want. But I see the Doty comments. What do you see in Doty? Doty, even at 100%, Doty was just average. Doty's a guy that definitely needs help, man. Dax James, what has Doty done to really impress you this year and last? I'll wait. Again, last year he came into a complete dumpster fire, Dax, and this year he didn't play a single snap healthy. So, I'm not crowning Luke Doty as the greatest player of all time. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in school history, but what makes you look at Jason Brown, outside of a spring game and a Florida game in which the guys ran for 284 yards, what makes him the long-term answer either? Zeb Nolan's done. I'm not saying Luke Doty's going to go win the Heisman, but I guess I'm not ready to throw in the towel in his entire career. But I will tell you this, I'd be shocked if Shane Beamer does not get a quarterback from the portal. I'd be totally shocked. I think that's got to be – I think you've got to bring in a big-time guy. So, I don't know. I like Luke Doty. I like his game. I think he can develop and be a big player for you. I know some are ready to just have him move to receiver or transfer or whatever, but, Douglas McKay was 3-0 in 1907. Yeah. Anyways, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Not trying to crown Luke Doty. Hey, he's injured. He's out for the year. Doesn't even matter. So, he's out for the year. Again, I guess the biggest shame of it all was he didn't play a single snap healthy. And again, you can say if you disagree that Luke Doty should have never been the choice in the jump, then so be it. Again, that's the easy cop-out, I think, but whatever. But the bottom line is this. I just – how many teams in college football, if their starting quarterback was hurt for the entire year and they had to go to QB3 at some point, how many teams will be having a good year? There ain't many out there that I think would be successful, like really successful. So that is a big deal. If nothing else, even if you think Luke Doty's astronomically average, which he might be, when you spend the entire spring and the entire summer and going into fall camp building your offense around a guy and then he gets hurt, well, that's going to throw a little wrench in things. Yeah, for sure. That's going to throw a wrench in things. Just in my opinion. I think that's going to throw a wrench in things. Again, 843-790-3377. Of course, guys, it's Auburn week. It's Mike Bobo hate week as well. Let's see. Jonathan Lee says, who's in the portal at quarterback we could go get? Quinn Ewers from Ohio State. There's Harris, the Harrison Bailey guy. There's Miles Brennan. There are players out there. So, yeah, I saw that. Eric just tweeted about it. Dawn Staley picked up a big 5-star recruit. Women's basketball just keeps on keeping on. So, big game tonight against Clemson. I'm sure they'll win by 50. So, all good. Spencer, from what I've heard, I think Spencer Rattler, Ole Miss is probably going to be the destination, which makes sense, man. Lane Kiffin, who's going to say no to that? Luke RJ, probably going to lose the next 2 games if JB doesn't play better. We know the O-line is bad. JB just got happy feet and was rattled from the pressure. He has room to improve, and that's where our hope is. He's got to play better. It's just, dude, it's almost impossible to succeed behind an O-line that is that bad, that plays that poorly. Again, as much as I want to pile on him, and I mean, do I think that Jason Brown is the quarterback to get Sal kind of to Atlanta? Absolutely not. But Jesus, man, the O-line, God, they got to play better. You got to play better. You got to block. Jonathan Lee, I thought 7-5, and we could still get that, but 6-6 is still not bad for you. 6-6 is fantastic. Fantastic. Again, questions, comments, calls. AJ Bauer says, no disrespect to Brown or Nolan, but if Doty was healthy right now, there'd be no change to the quarterback position unless Doty's playing really bad or would get hurt. There was a reason they were backups. I mean, AJ, I'll take it a step further. I mean, it's competition. All disrespect. I don't care. Who cares, man? Again, these guys are paid millions of dollars as their livelihood. They're not going to play a guy because he's their favorite. They're not playing Luke Doty because he's the chosen one. I mean, God, again, if you hired a coach and you can't trust them to watch practice and play the best play, then you hired the wrong guy.
Sling Blade.
Oh, here we go. Sling Blade back on the line. This will cheer everybody up.
Voicemail, press 2.
Sling Blade, happy game week. Happy game week, man. What's going on? Excited to hear from you.
Hello, Chris. It's good to talk to you again. Yeah. It's game week, and we're working on that running game over here in the Plains. Yeah. I kind of figured with a boy that got a name like Tank, we could probably count on him a little bit for us. Yeah. It's a shame about Bo. I know he hurt his foot pretty good. Yeah. So, how are things over there in Columbia, Chris?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. We're kind of like you guys. We're licking our wounds this week, coming off a loss. So it's a big game for us too. But yeah, how are you guys hanging? You're up 28-3, man. What happened? Let Mississippi State come back and beat you on your home field. I mean, it's just. And you lose your quarterback. I feel like it's been a pretty rough week for you.
Yeah, it's been a pretty bad week. Yeah. And, Chris, I've been a Falcons fan all my life. And when I saw that 28-3, it kind of worried me a bit. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, sent shockwaves down you a little bit. Just PTSD from what Atlanta did.
Yeah. Well, I hear tell that you got a pretty big slapdick over there in Columbia. Some guy by the name of Coach Ford.
Yep, Coach Ford.
Some folk calls it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. Yeah. Well, what do you think about some of these games this weekend, Chris?
I'm excited for our game. I know there's some other ones on, but I'm excited for our game. Are you excited to see your old friend Shane Beamer? I know y'all had an interesting little falling out.
Yeah, I like Shane. He's a good feller and all, but it was time for me to go. Yeah, see, I'd used up all my coupon books for Bojangles to get them free biscuits.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sure you're going to take advantage of the sweet tea. I know no sweet tea hits like the sweet tea in Carolina, man.
Oh, I like that sweet tea that they got down there at the Bojangles next to the stadium. It's extra sweet. I like it very much.
Well, I used to like to get. I tell you, Sling Blade, you might need to bring your Kaiser blade or your Sling Blade or whatever to get out of Williams-Brice Stadium, because I think there's a lot of folks that are looking forward to your return, but not in the way that you'd probably prefer.
But that's okay, Chris. I reckon a lot of folks have made sport of me over the years. They make fun of me. It's okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to you coming back. Hey, a lot of storylines for the game this weekend. Hey, guess what? You're one of them.
Chris, the one thing that does kind of worry me about Saturday night is that it's going to be almost a full moon out there. And you know how things can get crazy with a full moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good about the game. I think I think at the tailgate we're going to have sweet tea, chicken, and fried taters. And biscuits to go with it, too.
You think you might be able to save me some of them?
I'll save you a plate. Yeah, we'll save you. We'll save Sling Blade a plate just for good measure.
That'd be mighty nice of you, Chris. I always liked you. You was a good boy. I always liked you. Yeah, I did. Yeah, well, it's time for my Bible lesson, so I got to go.
Hey, Sir Big Spur, by the way, the rooster, he'll be waiting for you on the sideline if you want to come down and say hello.
You know, that bird always scared me just a little bit.
I love it. Sling Blade, we're looking forward to it, man. Excited to get you back in Columbia. And, yeah, best of luck this weekend. Not too much, though.
It'll be the first time I'll be on the sideline coming back. You realize that?
Yeah, it will. First time. So, sure there'll be a lot of emotions. Hopefully you can hold it together.
Okay, well, you have a good day, Chris. I got to go.
Thank you, Sling Blade. You have a good one, man. Looking forward to this weekend. Great stuff. Yeah, see, that puts a smile on your face. That that puts a smile on all of our faces right there. So, and I think that's a great spot to take our first break of the day. Guys, again, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you here on this Auburn week. Your full thoughts, your questions, your comments, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we're back. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well. Hunter Herlong chiming in says, I feel like if our offensive line wasn't so bad, we'd be sitting at 7-5 right now with 2 games left with a win we should have had against Kentucky and then Missouri. Good point. James Kendall says it's possible if some kind of Cam Tebow were behind center versus Kentucky, Mizzou, we would have won, but no quarterback can be at their best behind this offensive line. Let's see. No, yeah, I agree. I agree with you for sure. James Kendall also saying no way to objectively judge Luke at this point. I tend to agree as well. I know we had a couple of missed calls over the break. My guy Phil, if you want to call back in. A few others as well. Again, we're taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377 here on a Wednesday, November the 17th, 2021. Again, guys, also tons of new merch. If you want to check that out, tsus.store. tsus.store is where you can find all of that merch. Again, appreciate y'all letting me rant, by the way, the first part of this show. Great to hear from Sling Blade, by the way. Glad he's doing well. Obviously, that is a huge storyline. Going into this game, Mike Bobo's return to Williams-Brice Stadium. I think it's a great storyline for the fans. I don't think it means anything really on the field. I guess really how it could play, though, into the game is, Mike Bobo does know the Gamecocks personnel. He knows what they want to do, and obviously we know how good he is at scheming the run game. So the way that Clayton White responds to that and what he schemes up, and I think it's going to be a big part of the game. Also, of course, TJ Finley, that's a huge storyline in this ball game and what he does. So going to be an interesting matchup. Again, there's a lot of moving pieces in this ball game, but a great opportunity for South Carolina Saturday night to get their 6th win and to secure a big win. Let's see, Tanner, we need to get some kids merch. Chris, my boy wants a Beamer Ball hat. Well, the hat should fit kids. Well, and I actually, hold on. I think there are youth size hats. Maybe I thought hats were one size fits all. I didn't realize. Maybe there might be youth size hats. Yeah, Tanner, just shoot me a DM, Tanner, if you don't mind. I probably can make a youth cap. Yeah, I probably can make a youth cap. Let's see. Let's see here. Pretty sure I can make a youth cap. Just look, I'm looking right now. Bad hats. Yeah, they have a youth baseball cap. So, if you wanted a youth baseball cap. One True Villain MS. Yep, this is live. What's up, man? What's going on? This is live. Dylan Hodge, you believe the defense will bounce back? Yes, I do. I think at home, I think you'll play much better football. You got to be able to stop the run. You better be better. Bottom line. Trevor Wells says Beamer Ball Pampers for 1-year-olds. Yeah, I'll work on that. James Kendall, he made me a youth Rowdy Rooster shirt. Kids look amazing and wear them weekly. Yeah. So any for that type of stuff, guys, like the reason I don't make them and display them on the store is because I don't necessarily get it. We don't sell enough of those to warrant it. But if you have a request, I can make anything. So just let me know. Eric Fryer says expect to see some exotic blitzes for Finley. They worked on those last year for LSU, but T-Rob never called them. White won't make the same mistake for sure. No, I agree with you 100%. Eric Fryer, youth cap, big cock in training. Wow. Big cock in training. Love that. Guys, going back to what I kicked off the show with to a degree. And this is something that I've wanted to say for a long time. And this is not just a South Carolina point. This is a college football point. Is that, let me start here. I see, again, the misery level and the record and the way fans, and this is not, again, just the Gamecocks fan base. This is like all fans across college football. And let me say this. As a former athlete, in the locker room, in the facility, right? Your goal should be to win a championship. Your goal should be to win every single game, right? I can assure you guys this. I make predictions. I make projections. Whatever, right? I can assure you, though, our guys don't wake up at 5 a.m. for workouts over the offseason. And when they finish up saying, man, I'm doing this so we can go 6-6 this year. Hell no. Hell no. Everyone has expectations of winning a title. From the fan side of things, though, specifically, I think that 97, 98% of college fan bases would be doing themselves a favor if they were to shift expectations, right? The overall morale of fan bases would be much higher if fans of specific schools could come to grips with, we're not playing for a national championship. That's not our goal. It's not. Outside of 5 or 6 teams every year, everyone else in college football is just playing for a nice bowl game. Bottom line. And again, this is not me having a defeatist mentality or saying we should be okay with losing or mediocrity, which that's a hilarious argument that we could really get into if Gamecock fans want to have it. But I just see all these, and it's just like, people throw labels on things unfairly, right? A team goes 6-6 or 7-5. Oh, they suck. That team sucks. No. Let's take a step back here real quick, okay? Because I think what's happened in college football, and I think some of it, honestly, is to blame with the playoff. I think the playoff is to blame to some degree. Because it's like you're either in the playoff or you suck. It's just one of the two. It's just one of the two. You're either in the playoff or you suck. And it's like, no, there are the elites. There are teams that are slightly above average. There are teams that are average. There are teams that are slightly below average. And then there are teams that are not good, right? That suck. And so, again, I look at this South Carolina season, and I look at my expectations year in, year out for the program. I guess I would ask you, like, when you look at this team in this season, I would say South Carolina's average. I wouldn't say they're a bad team. They're an abysmal team. Obviously, they're not elite. They're not above. I think we're just average this year. And I think, honestly, all things considered, we've overachieved. Guys, I know that's hard for some people to wrap their brains around, but we've overachieved in many areas, in my opinion. We've overachieved. With a third-string quarterback and an offensive line that can't block anybody, we've overachieved. Flat out. Just go ahead and comprehend that. 5-5, possibility bowl game with 2 to play. We've overachieved. To this point, we've overachieved. But I think college fan bases would be doing themselves. Again, this is not a South Carolina thing. This is a college football thing. Not everyone is playing for the same thing. South Carolina, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Missouri, NC State, Maryland, Wake Forest. I mean, you just keep going down the list of these programs. You're not playing for the same trophy that Georgia is. You're not playing for the same trophy that Alabama is. You're not playing for the same trophy that Ohio State is. You're not playing for the same trophy that Oklahoma is. You're not. You're not. And so, like, if the expectations shifted, again, I'm not saying don't have the aspirations of getting to the elite level. I'm not saying that. Again, and in the building, my thought process should not apply. It better not. Your goal should be to win every freaking game. You don't put in all that work to win 6 or 7. You put in that work to go undefeated. I'm talking about from the fan side, though. Again, it's a problem I just see across college football. And really athletics in general. Like, I just feel like there's people out there that, like, they can't even enjoy the sport itself, the game. It's a game. They can't even, like, there are people that are just so miserable, like the fun and excitement, like it's supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be fun. Like, people can't even enjoy football season. You got people that are wishing the season to be over. It's like, we only get 12 of them, and we only get 7 at home. I just think people would benefit from shifting their perspective and expectations totally. And I get it, Chad. Losing isn't fun. I understand it's not fun. He also says, what category have we overachieved in? I don't know, Chad. The record? I mean, we're 5-5, bro. Over-under was 3.5. That's it. How about defense, Chad? What about defense? My God. We've been astronomically better than I expected. But just record. National pundits, most of them had Carolina at 4-8, 3-9. Not many had Carolina at 6-6 outside of Columbia, believe it or not. So let's just say you split the next two and you get to 6-6. How can anyone look at the season and say anything other than that was a successful year one for Beamer? How can anyone say anything otherwise? And hey, you might lose the next two, right? You might lose the next two. I'm just presenting a hypothetical. But Chad Rogers chimes in. Losing isn't fun. Chad, you're a Gamecock fan. You've been a loser your entire life. No offense, but you have. And so have I. So what are you talking about? What other choice do you have? Again, that's why I scoff and laugh at people that you're accepting mediocrity. You're accepting mediocrity to say that 6-6 is a successful year one. Bro, you're a Gamecock fan. Not only do you accept mediocrity, you embrace it. You pay to see it. If you really want to be blunt and honest. You literally support it. So what are you talking about? Anyways, maybe I've wasted the first hour of this show on a tangent or a rant that didn't need to happen. So, Keith says, I'm happy we won as many games as the previous 2 years. Yeah, I mean, again, and the people that want to, well, we didn't play a non-conference game. You really think Muschamp wouldn't have lost to Troy or East Carolina? Come on, dude. Come on. Anyways, pegging your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, guys, we sit here on a Wednesday. Yeah, Saturday sucked. Yeah, Mizzou loss sucked. It did. It sucked. It sucked. No way around it. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't run the ball. Squandered all momentum you had from Florida. That being said, that game was that game. Now you got this game against Auburn. You got 2 night games at home. Got a backup quarterback playing for Auburn. Got Mike Bobo coming back to Columbia. There's good opportunity here this weekend. Anyways, I don't know. I'm a little bit on one today. I don't know. Coach Ford, finally 50 minutes in, leaving a comment. Woohoo, party over here, 72 hours until we beat Clemson without a lake. And I know Coach Ford's being sarcastic, and that's totally fine. and I'll say this, I don't want to give him too much light, but I saw Coach Ford, commenting on social media, oh, you got to only be positive. You can't be negative. Chris has changed. He's sunshine. But Coach Ford, that's a lie, man. That's a lie. I've been as critical as any all season long. Just because you don't want to fire a first-year staff doesn't mean you're garnet glasses sunshine pumping. I mean, it's just far from it, man. Far from it. Yeah. So, again, great opportunity this week. And I understand. I see Keith commenting, a backup quarterback that's beating us. I get it. Listen, I'm not putting a lot of stock into what Finley did against us last year at LSU. I mean, obviously he has talent, right? You don't go to a school like LSU or Auburn or even South Carolina or anywhere in the SEC if you don't have some talent. You got to have some talent. And I'm pretty sure Finley was a fairly highly recruited guy. But brand new scheme, brand new system, coaching staff. I mean, it just everything's different. Different coaching staffs on both sides. So I don't look at, well, he beat you with LSU, so he's going to do the exact same thing again. Different supporting cast. I mean, there's just so many variables that are different now. So, it's definitely a weird storyline because how often does a guy transfer and then literally gets thrust in and starts? Like, it's like a very similar scenario to what he did last year where he took over for an injured quarterback and you just hope he doesn't duplicate that success again. But again, I don't know. I think forcing Finley to throw the football, that is the key. I think you got to slow down Tank Bigsby. Obviously, you got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. You can't allow a 200-yard rusher. You're not going to win the ball game if you do that. So you're not going to win the ball game if you do that. Dakota Lee Center Fight, considering we lost two quarterbacks during the season playing third-string quarterback, your second best receiver mid-season by the depth chart, best linebacker in green, O-line that can't block anyone. If you told me all these things would have happened, I would have said we win 3 games this season. This team definitely is overachieved. I agree. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a normal take. I think it's a pretty normal take. It's a pretty normal take. And I love watching Coach Ford squirm because I replied to him on Facebook and said, keep Marcus Satterfield. And it's like, dude, I'm not like I'm not a Marcus Satterfield sympathizer. I'm not like, oh, we got to keep him. Listen, if Beaver wants to get rid of him, cool. Whatever, is what it is. It's the nature of the business. Hey, we didn't do well enough on offense, so be it. As I've said before, I just think that if you don't have a guy identified, if you don't have a dude, I should say, to go get, then I think you're making a mistake because, again, I just, some of you have said, well, who would want to come play in this offense? What quarterback, what receiver would want to come play in this offense? Well, kids want to know who they're playing for. So how are you going to build anything when you're just changing OCs every single year? Because I don't see a first-year OC coming in and having, like, massive success. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. AJ Bauer says, I hate to say, but if some fans really expected us to get 10 to 11 wins first year with Beamer, and with him being a first-time head coach, and they are all blind and still live in 2012-13. Nah, yeah, I hear you. Again, I'm not saying Satterfield's the long-term answer by any stretch. I just, can you really afford to shuffle OCs on a yearly basis? That's my question. Can you operate that way? You're not Alabama. You can't just change coaches every year. You're not Alabama. Again, I'm not saying stick behind a guy blindly if a change needs to be made, but I mean, God, what a cutthroat world it is with football, man. I mean, you get one season. You get one. If it don't work out in one season, get out. One season is how many you get. One. So who are you going to go hire that's going to work under that cloud of, you get 1 year, by the way. Just so you know, by the way, not too much bread. You get 1 year We're going to ask you to uproot your family, uproot your entire life, move to Columbia. But by the way, you're going to get 1 year to get it right. Not even one. Because slapdicks like Coach Ford, if you're not showing offensive progression through 6 games, you're out. Who are you going to hire that wants to do that? Who? I mean, genuinely, give me some names. What human being wants to operate under that cloud? I'm not telling you Marcus Satterfield's a perfect OC. He's not. Play calling hasn't been great. Hasn't been great all the time. I think play calling is far from the only issue, but hasn't been great. I just kind of look at it as, you know what makes an OC look really smart? Really good football players that can just make plays for you. That helps. That certainly helps. That helps. So, you know. Jason Anderson, wouldn't letting Sat go be contrary to the culture that Beamer and this staff are trying to build? Listen, man, Jason, I think a lot of things are said. I think a lot of things are said in the honeymoon phase, and then very quickly those things change. Those things change. Those things evolve because you know what happens. You know what you don't account for in the honeymoon phase? Pressure. Pressure within your own walls. Pressure within your own house. Board of trustee pressure, fan pressure, administrative pressure. Win now. Win now. Win now. So will Shane look at it as, well, I can't afford not to change OCs because fans are pissed off? You know? Again, I guess I would just look at it as, if you go 6-6, let's say you go 6-6, win a bowl game. Let's just say you win a bowl game. God forbid, hypothetically. You go 7-6. You go 7-6. You overachieved. How does that warrant the firing of anyone? You going to make wholesale changes after you just overachieved? I'm not saying don't fire Greg Atkins. He's a damn position coach. Go get Nashawn Goddard, please. Jabari Levy, Travell Wharton if he wants to coach. Go get somebody. I just, again, the culture of football, and I see Chad Rogers, that's the nature of the business at this level. You want OJT as an OC, which I don't know what OJT stands for. It says go someplace else. Play calling and the on-field performance warrants his firing. It was a gamble hire to begin with. I mean, again, we are playing a third-string quarterback. The biggest disappointment has been the run game, by far. So maybe you can live with, okay, fire Greg Atkins. I don't know, man. I just let me leave it to you with this on that note as we get into the second hour. Hey, Shane Beamer wants to make a change. I won't shed a tear. I won't shed a tear. Right? I won't shed a tear, whatever. But I also won't sell out on Beamer if he decides to bring Satterfield back. And I think there are fans that'll do that. I mean, it's so funny. I see fans on social media that comment talking about, well, Beamer will make a change if he knows what's good for him. It's like it's a threat. All right, let's hold on. Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good, man. Appreciate you calling in. What's up?
This is what I think about this whole with people wanting to fire Satterfield, okay? First off, if Beamer feels like it's time to get rid of Satterfield and get somebody else, rather the fan base wants him to do it or not, he's either going to get rid of him or he's going to keep him.
That is a fact.
Does that make sense?
That's a fact, yeah.
the fan base can be mad and ticked off and wanting to throw eggs at Satterfield's house or whatever, what have you. At the end of the day, it's Beamer making the decision, not the fan base. If Beamer, at the end of this year, decides, I'm going to keep Satterfield, even though we didn't do well, I can see some progress there, then personally, I'd be fine with it. I'm like, hey, if you feel like if you feel like he can do better in the next couple of years, I say keep him. But if he's not getting the job done, Beamer's going to make the right decision.
Well, and you hope that you wouldn't have hired him and you're paying him millions of dollars if he can't make the right decision.
Yeah, you wouldn't have hired him if you didn't trust him to make the right decision.
Yeah. Hopefully that was a part of the interview process. I agree. So.
And I think that like people are like the people that were saying that we were going to go 8-4. I think they were high on something. To be honest with you, because even in the preseason, I didn't see us going 8-4. No, I didn't even see us going 6-6. But we have a shot at being 6-6.
I'd say a fairly good shot. I mean, both games at home at night. I mean, what more could you really ask for? And, Clemson looks extremely beatable compared to what I picked that as a 25-point loss in the preseason. I also thought Clemson was going to be a playoff caliber team. So, all of a sudden, yeah. You couldn't ask for much better setup.
Said before, you've said before, if you don't have a good enough quarterback, you probably ain't going to win. And apparently DJ's not that good, at least this year.
No, yeah, I think he's definitely fallen short of their expectations.
It just shows it shows with the way Clemson's been doing this year. Like you can go from competing for national championships to competing to try to go to a bowl game like that if you ain't careful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
And I just think that like I ain't got my prediction yet. You'll probably get my prediction tomorrow. No, maybe tonight. You might get my prediction tonight. I might give you my prediction later on tonight, whenever you're at Tin Roof. But I remember watching, I think it was 2007, the South Carolina Clemson game.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat us like a dog. It was bad.
Yeah.
Like 50-something or 60-something to 7 or something like that. And I'm still a Gamecock fan. I am. After watching that shellacking, and then the shellackings we took last year and all that, I'm still a Gamecock fan. But we just need to, people that are overreacting with the whole being 6-6 thing need to take a chill pill and just let Beamer do his job, what he was hired to do, which is build a winning program at the University of South Carolina, which is where he wants to be at. Like he said yesterday, this is where he wants to be. He wants to make us relevant again. And if people will just be quiet and let Beamer do his job, I truly believe that this coaching staff can do that.
Yeah, no, dude, I'd agree. Listen, I'm happy with how things are. I've got no animosity really. Yeah, Saturday sucked, but we're on pace to get to 6, and like I said before the season, 6-6 is a great year. And I think if you think otherwise, I think you're just a lunatic. I don't know what else to say. So, you know, that just bottom line, man. People that thought Carolina was going to go, and I said this after the Kentucky game, and I just had to reset perspective over and over again. Again, if you thought Carolina was going 8-4 and 9-3, and you want to be like some in the comments that are talking about, oh, you have low expectations, this, that, it's you, man. It's not Carolina. It's you. It's you. It falls on you. It's squarely on your shoulders for having bad expectations. So,
right. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but I'm like you. I'm a realist. I went from I'm like, if I think we're gonna lose, I'm like, we're gonna lose. But on the inside, I'm like, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win. But like, I'm a realist. And like I told you yesterday, I was not expecting us to score 40, let alone 30 on Florida a couple weeks ago, okay, or last week, or what was it? Yeah, that 2 weeks ago. I wasn't expecting us to score 30 or 40, but it happened. And I think that it's crazy that people are asking for Satterfield's head, and we ain't even done with the first year of having him as an OC.
Yeah.
Not even done with his first year quite yet, and they're already asking for his head.
Yeah. And again, man, it's just the culture of football. It's the culture of big-time football. People think because they're getting paid the salaries they are that, I guess you can just interchange the pieces year in, year out. But, again, I guess those guys, they know what they're getting into when they sign up for it. So kind of just is what it is. But, we'll see what they can do the last two. And if you can put up some good offensive numbers, maybe that Beamer makes a difference. I don't know. I'll be very intrigued to see the decision-making Beamer will have after the season's over.
I mean, it's like you said yesterday. They got to evaluate the talent, and not only evaluate the talent. Will they fit in our? Will they be a perfect, somewhat a fit in our system? Plus, will we be able to develop them to the point where they are going to be big time players for us? And I truly think Beamer and this coaching staff can do that.
Yeah, I do as well. I do as well. That's why you hired him, for sure.
I know, and this is why I trust Beamer so. This is why I trust Beamer, because one, it was a little bit because of him to why we got Stephon Gilmore, Lattimore, and all the greats that have played for Carolina from 2010 to 2013. It was a little bit because of him. That is why I trust Beamer in doing this job, because he got us to that point before, and I truly think he can do it again.
Yeah. Same here. That's why you hired him, man. Just got to give him a little bit of time. Robbie, appreciate the call, my friend. As always. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
You have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate it. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Let's get back to your comments here. We're going to take a break here in just a little bit. Let's see. Jeff Gullers, I'm with you. I'm good either way. Keep him or let him go. I'm like you, but who are you going to get that we didn't get the first time? Like I said, I think if you're going to make the move, fine, but you just got to have a guy lined up. You got to have a better option. I've seen people say, well, just fire Satterfield and promote Justin Stepp to OC. Like, you really want to take a chance on a guy who's never called plays? That seems, I don't know. Chad Rogers, boy, I think Coach Ford's got a best friend that's tuned in. He says, that's the answer. Woe is us. Can't get anyone else, so just settle with what we have. We have definitely regressed as fans since Spurrier. Also says, winning is contagious, just like losing, and you can see the difference it has on our expectations. Then he says, not a coach worshiper or sunshine pumper. Thought Spurrier eradicated that way of thinking, but apparently like cancer, it's returned. See, this is how I know. It's so funny to see life come full circle, because people used to say I was negative, I was pessimistic, I was a toxic Gamecock fan. Now I got people like Coach Ford and Chad Rogers tuning in saying that I'm a sunshine pumper. I'm wearing garnet glass. I'm glad to know I can piss both sides off. That's how you know you're doing your job, when you piss both sides off. Again, I'd ask a guy like Chad Rogers, man, what about just saying that 6-6 is a good year in year one of a new coach? What about that is having a loser mentality or loser expectations or worshiping a coach or pumping sunshine? What, Chad, the phone lines are open, man. Call in. Coach Ford, do the same. 843-790-3377. Because explain to me, let me say this. Explain to me what the year in, year out expectations of Gamecocks football should be. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. To anyone who wants to call in and say, what should the year in, year out expectations of Gamecocks football be? Let me ask you this. Do you feel like the expectations weren't properly set this year? Do you feel like the expectations should have been 8 or 9 or 10 wins? I'd love to hear it, because you can leave slapdick comments all you want, but give me something. Give me something else. Give me something else. And I know Coach Ford's being a sarcastic slapdick in the comment. That's fine, which it means you're just not smart enough to articulate your actual opinion and your point, which is cool, because that's what I kind of figured to begin with. But really, I just see Chad Rogers commenting. I just want to know. I seriously want to know, were the expectations improperly set in year one? Were they? Because I don't see fans accepting, losing. Like, we're losing big, and it's like, well, it's okay. I mean, yeah, Saturday sucked. It was a bad loss. I don't see many that are saying otherwise. But you can either dwell on the bad loss all week, or you can say, well, that loss sucked, but hey, you got 2 home games left to close it out. There's a lot of opportunity left, in my opinion. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Todd,
what's up, man? How are you?
man, I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Just wanted to call in today. One of the things that I enjoy about listening to your show is you really keep things into perspective. And I hate to use the word that you talk about all the time, but we're one game away from winning the same amount of games that we won the last 2 years of Muschamp. Like you say, things have not been pretty at times. They've been pretty ugly at times. We've won football games with people who had signed up with South Carolina to be coaches. It's been a crazy roller coaster of a ride this year. I think, like you say, and I agree, I don't think we need to fire anybody this year. Maybe the O-line, offensive line guy, maybe. But like you say, if we ended up going to a bowl, God forbid, and we end up winning, 7-6, 7-5, that's a huge improvement over what we did the past 2 years. And we've done this with a third-string quarterback, a grad assistant, a first-string quarterback that wasn't healthy, and none of the players that Beamer and staff are going to end up bringing to the table. It's clear that Beamer is our guy. He is dialed in 1,000% to the school where he wants to be. And I just think we need to pump the brakes a little bit and start supporting him instead of talking about all the changes that need to be made on a first-year staff. And I was in sales for 20 years before I became an owner-operator in the trucking business. And a lot of times I had to hire people from out of state and move them to where I live. And you have to put yourself in their place. What job would you want to work at knowing that I start this year, and if I don't make a change in the company this year, you're going to replace me? Like you say, you wouldn't be able to hire anybody that's got a brain to want to come to the University of South Carolina under that pretense. So, again, I think we just need to pump the brakes, support the staff that he chose. Is it probably the staff he initially wanted, all of them? Probably not, considering we were pitched an elite staff and we didn't get all elite people. But it is what it is. We have what we have. and we gotta go with it for at least another season to 2 seasons. And I just don't understand why a lot of Gamecock fans are so freaking fickle when this has been our life as a Gamecock fan as far as I can remember, except for the Spurrier days. And Beamer's not Spurrier, and he's gonna make his own way with the Gamecocks. And we just need to remember that when we're getting so critical on Saturday afternoon, when we're losing games we should be winning and winning games that we should be losing. It's just that's the day in the life of a Gamecock fan. But overall, and I don't want to get off on a rant, but dude, I love your honesty, and I love your candor and your upfrontness about stuff. And I just think that people need to keep that in mind with this first year staff.
Indeed, yeah, and I say this too. Even if Beamer turns out to be a dud, you're just not going to know for 3 or 4 years at least, at minimum.
No,
so
absolutely.
There's just no point in trying to draw conclusions in year one, in my opinion. So,
hey, and you know what? We all loved him when he was in the interview phase. We got to love him and give him a few years to get his bearings about what he's going to be doing. And I got a great feeling that we're going to see that after this year with the recruits that sign up with him.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
But
Got to let him build.
Hey, I'm down here in Florida today, on my way to Georgia, and then back to Texas. Have a great day, man. It is a great day to have a day, as you say. I really love that. And we'll talk to you again soon, brother.
Todd, always a pleasure, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Chad Rogers says, I'm behind Beamer. Do I trust him yet? No. Have I seen things on the field that are troublesome and can only be attributed to coaching? Yes, but right now it would be foolish to call for his firing. Yeah, again, first-year head coach. I kind of expected some of the things. Was it going to be perfect? No. You just got to hope and pray and believe it will get better, and he's learning on the job. I mean, he is. Technically, he is, right? I mean, first-time coach. That's the route you took. He also says Spurrier proved you can win here. He also raised the expectations. That happened after chastising fans for settling after a close Auburn loss. Again, I don't think anyone's saying success for Shane Beamer in Columbia looks like 6-6 forever. I don't think anybody's saying that. I'm just saying year one. So you can have those, yes, Spurrier raised the bar, but thank goodness. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Like, I remember growing up a Gamecock fan, getting to 6 wins was like we just won the Super Bowl. That's not the case anymore, and that's a positive. But in year one, I think getting to a bowl game is a success. And what's the number one thing we want to see? Progress. Progress. That's why the last guy's not here anymore. There were some nice wins, but there was no progress. There was no sustained progress. So as long as it's trending this way, then we are I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in a good spot as long as that's happening. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377, guys. We're going to talk college football news' prediction for this weekend's game on the other side of the break, as well as more of your questions, your comments, your calls. And also, I'd love to hear from you guys. What does success, on that note, what does success in the Shane Beamer era look like? I don't want to say what's the ceiling, but what is success? Is it getting back to what Steve Spurrier had the Gamecocks at going 11-2? Is it winning the SEC? Like, what is success? And again, college ball news prediction, more thoughts. We're going to shift more into the Auburn game. I've been ranting all day. I apologize for maybe some of the negativity from some of the thoughts and comments. Either way, though, we're rock and rolling here on a Wednesday, November the 17th, 2021. Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Continue to take your questions, comments, calls here. Wednesday, November the 17th, Auburn week. Gamecocks taking the Tigers, 7 o'clock Saturday night at Williams-Brice Stadium. Again, guys, quick reminder. Episode 538 of the podcast did drop this morning. Talked best bet, SEC gambling picks, as well as Shane Beamer's comments from yesterday's press conference. Of course, the TSUS tailgate also this Saturday. We'll be out there probably 12:30 or 1 o'clock, no later than 1 o'clock out at Seawells, spots 93 to 96. So, again, would love to have you guys come out there. Going to be a really, really, really good time. Like I told you, as we do basically each and every single Wednesday, my good friends over at collegefootballnews.com, they dropped their predictions for Saturday's game against the Auburn Tigers. Pete Fuchak, they do a fantastic job. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into that. collegefootballnews.com, Pete Fuchak, their predictions. Of course, they list why Auburn will win, why South Carolina will win, and then what's going to happen. So let's dive into it. They say why Auburn will win. Again, this is collegefootballnews.com. Why Auburn will win. And there's the South Carolina offense going back to being the South Carolina offense. It actually hasn't been all that bad throughout the season, but the running game failed to do much of anything before ripping up Florida for close to 300 yards. Last week against Missouri's awful defense, 57. Which Auburn defense will show up? If it's the one that's dedicated or decided to leave last week's Mississippi State game early and couldn't seem to do so much right after against Arkansas or Georgia, there's a problem. If it's the one that's solid at getting in the backfield and can stuff the run, everything will be fine. But, why South Carolina will win? Is TJ Finley ready for his big moment? Auburn quarterback Bo Nix is out for the rest of the regular season with a foot injury. Now the offense has to perk up despite the loss of its growing star. Finley is hardly new to the SEC spotlight, but he'll have to avoid mistakes against the South Carolina defense that's great at taking the ball away. The Gamecocks come up with lots and lots of picks. Auburn doesn't care much about the time possession battle, and the Gamecocks need to grind it out, get the ground game going, and make Finley throw the ball. What's going to happen? Here we go again. collegeballnews.com, Pete Fuchak. They say Finley will be more than fine. The massive 6'7", 250-pound bomber won't be asked to win the game all by himself, but he already proved this year that he could step in and come through, saving the day in the Georgia State thriller. Last year against South Carolina, he completed 17 of 21 passes for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns with a pick when he played for LSU. He won't do that, but he'll overcome a few picks to keep things moving, and the running game and defense will take it from there. Final score prediction from collegeballnews.com, Pete Fuchak. Auburn 34, South Carolina 20. So, collegeballnews.com, 34-20 is their score prediction. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I think that's a little high scoring. I like to think the defense is going to play better than giving up 34. But again, that's collegeballnews.com's prediction, 34-20. And again, that goes against my best bet. I got Gamecocks plus 6.5. Again, I'm not sitting here telling you guys the Gamecocks are going to win the game, but I just tend to think it's going to be a close game. I do. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth close game at home, at night, backup quarterback on the road. I don't know. I think it will be a one-score game. I'll leave it at that. I think it'll be a one-score game. If you can get it 7.5, I love it. I'm still taking 6.5. If you can get it at 7.5, I love it. But I don't know. I think it will be a close game at home at night. So Brian Lattimore says 34 points is too much for Auburn, in my opinion. I don't see them hitting the 30s. Yeah, again, I feel that feels like a lot. That feels like a lot. I don't know. That feels like a lot. 34 does. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Again, collegeballnews.com, 34-30. They are locked on their prediction. Like I said, guys, my best bet is out. And I've got the Gamecocks plus 6.5. Again, I'm not saying South Carolina's going to win. I have not locked in my prediction. That will be on Friday. I do think it's a one-score game, though. Again, at home, at night, backup quarterback in there for Auburn. What's the morale of their football team, by the way, coming off of an abysmal loss to Mississippi State? I think you can take advantage of a wounded Auburn team. I think Tank Bigsby certainly is going to get his yards. That'll be the big thing. Can you slow down Tank at all? Can you run the ball at all? That's the key for this team, we all know. But I think at home, I think you'll play better football at home. I do. I do tend to think you'll play better football at home. Chad Rogers tuned in again. Of course, I left you guys with what would you call a success for the Shane Beamer era? What does success look like, if you will? Chad Rogers says, until we get serious about winning games and contribute more than 25% in revenue to football, not much is going to change. Not to mention we're like welfare recipients the way we're content feeding off the checks we get from the SEC. Chad, what are they supposed to do with that SEC money? Not use it? I mean, I just feel like everybody uses that money. I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to do. Like, not use that money. I mean, give it to somebody. I don't know. Corey Washington, I would say if he could average 8 wins a season over his entire time here, that would be a success. I tend to agree. If you can look at a decade of Shane Beamer, a decade, and you've averaged 8 wins a season, folks, he's the greatest coach in school history. That type of run, that type of building the program to that level, you're the greatest coach in school history. Or you're at least up there. You're pushing Steve Spurrier. So, let's see. Chad Rogers says, it's the Bryce, not Bryce Stadium. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. Chad Rogers says 31-13 Auburn. It's fair. They could certainly run all over you. I don't doubt it. They could. Jeff Gullis says, if Willie B is patent and loud, our defense will score 2 touchdowns. Jeremy Lafferty says 21-17 South Carolina, third week for Brown. I think it's time to go for broke to get to a bowl game. I like the pick. Chad Rogers says you put that money back into the football program just like every other successful program in our conference does. That's what you do with it. Chad, where's the money going? Do you know? I mean, I'm not. I guess I'm not as well versed as you might be on where that money's going and what we're doing, and maybe I'm an idiot. So. Again, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, I think that I'm torn going in this game this weekend. Again, I don't know about confidence. I don't know if my excitement, my giddiness comes from the fact you've just got a night game at home. Guys, I'm just thankful to have a night game on our home field. I really am. Maybe I'm just easy to please. I'm excited to tailgate. I'm excited to hang out with a bunch of Gamecock fans. But I also just look at this Auburn team. Again, the morale of these two teams is one of the more interesting factors that people I don't think are talking about enough. I mean, we're talking about, again, an Auburn team that is coming off of blowing a 28-3 lead and losing on their home field. You talk about a demoralizing loss. You talk about demoralizing. That's demoralizing for sure. So what type of spunk, what type of energy does Auburn come in this game with, especially if you were somehow able to punch them in the mouth early, right? How does Auburn respond to it? Again, I don't look at this game exactly how I looked at Florida, but there are similarities in regards to, I do feel like things are sort of lining up this week. I'm not trying to set my expectations too high. Again, you guys don't know my prediction yet. I'll drop that and lock that in on Friday. But it's a touchdown spread game. I think to go into this game other than anything, thinking anything other than it's a great opportunity. I don't know. I feel like it is. I mean, again, could Auburn come in and steamroll you, I guess, and run all over you, and Tank do his thing? I mean, you got to think maybe revenge factor is on their mind, but again, at the same time, I think you can take advantage of a wounded Auburn bunch. So. Chad Rogers may not agree with you all the time, obviously, but we're better. We're both fans, and you're better than Kevin Cohen. So there's that. I don't know who Kevin Cohen is, man. I have no idea. Andrew the textbook says, I'm afraid that if South Carolina beats Auburn this week, they will get blown out by Clemson. How are the How does that mean? How does a win over Auburn equate to a blowout against Clemson? I think, Andrew, the textbook, that's just honestly the Gamecock way of thinking in the sense of Gamecock fans feel like we can't have nice things, or we don't deserve to have nice things. That's what Gamecock. It's like, you know what? We if we beat Auburn, we're not going to beat Clemson. It's just like, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I just think that the Auburn game and the Clemson game, they're both individual games. They're both completely exclusive of each other, and the Auburn game's the one you got this weekend. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see South Carolina get the W. Again, I kind of caught myself on Monday sort of looking ahead to that game next weekend, but again, this is a huge opportunity on Saturday night. It is, and you beat this team last year, and I'll say the same thing going into this game that I said last year about Auburn, because guys, guess what? That team last year, the South Carolina team, wasn't good. It wasn't good. We were not good last year. We went 2-8. We weren't good. But Auburn didn't scare me last year. I mean, Auburn there's nothing about Auburn that really scares me. Again, I'm not saying we're great. But nothing about Auburn scares me. They've got some good pass rushers. I think certainly that's something you're concerned about with them getting after the quarterback and our offensive line and just how bad we've been. But they don't scare me. I mean, they are what they are. So I think it's a very winnable game for South Carolina. And I had the Gamecocks beating Auburn in the preseason. So Chad Rogers says, just beat Clemson. That'll go a long way to putting some Neosporin on the season. Jeffrey Lafferty says, good chance for us to get a good statement win. Back to Chad's comment, though, it is funny. And again, I'm not looking ahead, looking past Auburn this game, whatever, because I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be an awesome game. But Chad makes a good point. Even if you're someone like Coach Ford, this season, like I said, I think on Monday, the season's all boiling down to, do you beat Clemson? If you beat Clemson, all is forgiven. All the wrongs of this season are righted. Again, what's so unique, this is turned into a very classic South Carolina Clemson season where the success for both programs of this season will be hinging on that game, right? It will be hinging on that game. That game single-handedly will dictate the perspective, especially of Gamecock fans. You go 6-6 or 7-5 and beat Clemson, the perspective's going to be a lot different on what you achieved in the season versus if you go 5-7 or even 6-6, but you lose to them. For better or for worse, the result of that game will shape the way fans look at how this 2021 season went. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Even for folks like Coach Ford. Even Coach Ford won't be able to help but smile if Carolina's able to beat Clemson. Let's see. Santa Webster just tuning in. Beat Clemson. Hunter Burger incoming tonight for the ladies. Yeah. Dawn Staley's crew are going to crush. They're going to absolutely crush. So. Angel the textbook, if they somehow beat Clemson, then Clemson fans will just pretend like this season never happened for them. Good. That sounds great to me. I love that. Again, guys, I want to take a moment to apologize to you all, especially those who tune in on a day-to-day basis. And I guess the goal is to be, interactive with you guys and entertaining. And so maybe we achieved that today. But I apologize for the ranting and allowing the inmates to control the asylum in regard to the narrative. So I don't want to spend unnecessary energy and unnecessary time on things that don't deserve it. And so, again, if I did that today, my apologies to you all, because my goal is to bring constructive content, not positive content, constructive content, valuable content. And so, I don't know that there was an extensive amount of value in that. So, yeah. So I will be better. I will be better for you all. Again, 843-790-3377. Big Game Boomer. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter or social media. He's actually projecting the Gamecocks to take on North Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. My God. Oh, anything but Charlotte. Anything but Charlotte. I mean, I love that's the conundrum. I love going to Charlotte. B of A's sick. Got a lot of love for the city. A lot of love for CLT. God, we don't play worth a damn there, though. That is a house of horrors for us. OU Owns You says, if you guys beat Clemson, the contract extension chance will be amazing. LOL. Yeah. Let me put it to you this way, OU Owns You. I don't know that everyone will look at the season and say, oh, that was a huge success. But it will soften the blow tremendously. I mean, you could say that was the previous coach we had. That was his greatest undoing. If he would have found a way to just beat Clemson a couple times, you could argue he gets another year or two. OU Owns You says, you're the man, Chris. There's a reason why I tune in. I think your content's amazing and you're a likable, respectable person with a great show. This is coming from an Oklahoma fan. OU Owns You. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. No, I just, OU Owns You. Basically, the first hour, I had a just full-on rant of, bad perspective of some Gamecock fans and expectations and things of that nature. And I don't want the show to get so off the tracks where it's like we're not like, let's talk about the game. Like, we can talk about whatever. We can talk about anything. But again, I don't want to spend time and energy giving attention to things that don't deserve it. I'll say that. So, but again, hey, to a degree, you guys do run this show. The Daily Crow is all about you guys and your questions and your comments and everything else. And for better or for worse, we're all in this together. So, no, it's always a blast, man. I appreciate y'all. Again, I guess the last thing I'll say on it is this. I just feel, again, are things perfect? No, they are not. Do we have lofty goals and aspirations? And I didn't answer my own question, by the way. What does success look like in the Shane Beamer era? Again, guys, I think and I'd love to hear your feedback on this, especially people like Coach Ford and Chad Rogers, who are obviously disgruntled with how things are right now. That's fine. Hear me out. I think these are realistic expectations for Gamecocks football, and I think Shane Beamer can get you there. If you can get to a point where you are winning 8 to 9 games year in, year out, you're an 8 to 9 win a year program. I think that's realistic, believe it or not. Let's say 8-4. You're consistently averaging going 8-4 year after year after year. And maybe every 3 or 4 years, you have the right quarterback, you have a veteran roster, your schedule works out well. Whatever. It's just your year. Every 3 or 4 years, you're realistically contending to go to Atlanta to play for an SEC title. I think those are very realistic expectations for the program. I really do. And I think if Gamecock Nation had a product that I am speaking of, if the program got to that level, let's say of an Iowa, of a Michigan State, right? I think that would be a fantastic accomplishment. I think Gamecock Nation would embrace the hell out of that product. I do. Again, I understand people look at the sample size of Steve Spurrier. Oh, get rid of this loser mentality. We got to raise the expectations back to guys. What Steve Spurrier did, I don't think will ever happen again. Most likely, 3 straight 11-win seasons. I don't think that'll probably happen again. But hey, it's possible. But you got to walk before you can run. You got to walk before you can run. So getting to what I mean, once you get to that level where you're averaging 8 per year, and then every 3 or 4 years continue to go to Atlanta, then you can say, okay, now we're here. How do we go from here to the next level? And guess what? Shane Beamer might not be that guy. Maybe he will be, but he might not be. But you got to walk before you can run. How do we get to the next level of now we're winning 9 to 10 a year, and we're up there with the Georgias of the world. But realistically, for the program and the challenges you face, again, how do you build how do you get tradition? You build it. It's got to start somewhere. So again, that's why I'm saying, guys, year one, if you go 6-6, you're not that far off from, I mean, God, you could be 7-3 right now. You could be. Again, this is not me trying to pump sunshine up your ass and wear garnet and glasses, but again, at 5-5, this season is in the eye of the beholder. You have the choice to view this season as positive, progress was made, we overachieved, or you can view it in a negative scope. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. We put, like, for example, we put all of our energy in talking about how bad the offense has been. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But why do we not spend the same amount of time and energy talking about how good the defense has been? How overachieving the defense has been? Why do we not do that? Why do we only chastise? Why do we only chastise Beamer for his mistakes? His mistakes are why we're not 7-3. His mistakes are why we're not 8-2. Why do we only spend the time and energy chastising the mistakes, but we don't spend an equal amount of time and energy, or if not more, complimenting the successes? Hey, Shane Beamer and this coaching staff are the reason we're 5-5 in the first place. They're the reason we're not 3-7. They're the reason we're not 4-6. They're the reason we're not 2-8. Why? I ask you why. I ask you why. I understand negative news sells. I understand the culture of media and news. I understand it's always going to, hey, guess what, guys? Guess what? I see it from a different scope. I see downloads. I see page views. I see clicks. I see impressions. Guess what? Negative news sells. It sells. The listens and downloads, guys, as much as I hate to say it, they go up when we suck. They go up. If we're like really bad, we get blown out, numbers are through the roof. Everybody wants a channel to vent and bitch. They do. Everybody wants a channel to vent. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. Right? TSUS didn't pop off till I said fire must chant. Really, truly. I'm just saying, though, again, I'm not trying to sunshine pump you to death. I'm not trying to, just ignore all the shortcomings and deficiencies because we love being. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But why do we only shine light on one side of it? Why? Again, at 5-5, this season is in the eye of the beholder. It is. I'm not saying it's been an A+ job, but it hasn't been an F, right? So, again, and I'm excited for the opportunity the last two games. We might get our doors blown off, and that'll change our perspective on the season. But you do have a big opportunity. I mean, this weekend, you beat Auburn last year. Bobo returns. They got a backup quarterback. I know it's TJ Finley, but they got a backup quarterback. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's a good opportunity. So, anyways, I've been that guy all season, injecting perspective. I'm going to continue to be that guy. Because, again, I just don't. I mean, you also have two choices in the sense of you can be the fan. You can be the fan who's negative until we win and then you're positive. Or you can be the fan who's, I'm not even going to say positive, but rational, reasonable, until it becomes evident that, okay, there needs to be a change made. We gave this thing a chance. We gave it an opportunity. And, we got to go a different direction. It seems like the process, the joys in the journey, right? The process will be a lot more fun with the latter option I just mentioned. Like, why did you hire Beamer if you don't believe him in the first place? I would ask some people. But, hey, I will also be, because right now, let's stay in the present moment. You got the Auburn game. It's Wednesday Auburn week. But looking ahead, I'll be interested to see what changes, if any, or how many Shane Beamer makes. I will be interested to see that. Maybe he does fire the OC. Maybe. I mean, it might happen. I don't know. I'm not telling you it won't. I'm not in the building. I don't know. I don't hear the conversations. It might happen. I would be shocked if there wasn't some shifting. I'd be totally shocked. So I'd be totally shocked if there weren't. I mean, again, I told you guys, if Greg Atkins is employed, I will be, and I didn't expect mid-season changes either. So, anyways, though, very simple key to Saturday, man. You got to block and you got to stop the run. So, Tommy Wallace says, we have an opportunity on Saturday to get bowl eligible, get a chance, get a discount on TSUS merch for Christmas. What else can we ask for? Dude, trust me, I'd love to have a reason to run 2 more discount specials because of wins. I would love that. Would absolutely love that. Again, guys, less than 10 minutes to go here on a Wednesday, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, like I said, it's people want to highlight the shortcoming, and I get it, man. I get it. The offense hasn't been what it needs to be, but it also it's like people are so caught up in how bad the offense has been, they just lose sight of the positives that have happened this year. I mean, there have been positives. We're not 2-8. Like, there have been some positives. Believe it or not. I think some people, and I get it, man. Listen, again, we're all Gamecocks. Even Coach Ford, doesn't matter. We're all Gamecocks. We all pull for the same team. We all bleed the same colors, and we all want the same thing. Whether we love each other or hate each other, we all want the same thing. We might have differing opinions on how to get there, but we all want the same exact thing, and that's to win a national title. An SEC championship. We all want that, right? We can all agree with that. But I almost look at some people and I'm just like, man, I think the Spurrier years just ruined them. Just ruined. I mean, dude, trust me. God, I'd give anything to go back to 2012 Georgia. I'd give anything to go back to 2013 Clemson watching us beat them for a 5th straight time. Give anything. But that was then, this is now. And all you can do is try to put your head down and build to get back to that. And it's going to be a process. It's going to take more than a few years. It's going to take recruiting some big time players. Like there are pieces of this puzzle that have to come together. Those pieces were not all there this year. But that doesn't mean you can't go out and beat Auburn. That doesn't mean this season you can't go out and beat Clemson. And hey, then you have a good year. Let's see. Aaron Thompson, did I miss the women's basketball prediction for tonight against Clemson? No, you did not. I have not posted the graphic yet. I'll be posting that this afternoon. I think Carolina wins, man. Big. I got South kind of big. I think the women. How do you even predict a score for this game? I think South Carolina wins big. We'll put it that way. My official graphic will drop a little bit later. I think we win big. For sure. I mean, the last time these two teams played, I'll try to find it here. We won 84-48 in 2019. I don't think we played them last year, right? 2018, we won 69-57. Now, it's actually a little bit closer than 2018. Dude, I think we probably win like 82-55 or something like that, bro. I think we're going to crush them. We won 66-36 in 2017. So we didn't play them last year, right? No, we just played conference. We played like 4 non-conference games. So yeah, we're gonna crush them. So, anyways, guys, 5 minutes to go here on a Wednesday, November the 17th, 2021. Clemson Tigers. Your prediction means, or your opinion, honestly, man, doesn't mean a whole lot. But I appreciate it. Appreciate the comment. Let's see. Robbie Davis prediction for basketball tonight. He's got South Carolina 75, Clemson 50. Also says the coaching staff as a whole right now, he'd give them a B+ grade. I think that's fair. B+ is fair. Yeah. I had another text here from earlier. I apologize. I missed this. It says I predicted we'd be 5-7, 2-6 in the SEC at the beginning of the season. Not sure if we'll do better than that, but we will have secured at worst a 5-7 season. I feel like we're right where I thought we'd be with what circumstances we had this year, regardless of what happens these last two games. I just want to see our team compete and play the best they can. Honestly, feel like we will drop the next two. But on the other hand, I could see us winning both as well. We will be fun to watch regardless of outcome as always. Also, I would love to see Williams-Brice at capacity. Let's give Auburn some hell on Saturday. I don't know how the crowd will be. Again, I understand the season hasn't gone perfect. I'd like to think, though, Gamecocks will show up and show out for a night game at Willie B. I mean, why not, man? Like I said, guys, we spend all – and, again, I'm not going to ever tell anybody what to do as far as, oh, you should go, you should be – but if you can go, I mean, I just look at it as like, hey, man, we only get 7 opportunities to tailgate, and we got 2 left, and you know, they're both under the lights. So it's like, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for game day, personally. I'm excited for game day. Looking forward to it. And, yeah, so either way, though, women's basketball tonight, of course, game day. I fully expect them to roll against that team from the upstate. Also, guys, a quick reminder, episode 538 of the podcast did drop this morning, talking a heavy gambling show, best bet, SEC gambling picks, as well as takeaways from yesterday's Tuesday pressure. I'm surprised no questions about the Vatek thing. I'm so glad, though, because, I mean, it's not even worth it. It's not worth talking about. Shane Beamer's going nowhere. Yeah, be interesting to see who Vatek hires, though. I'll be very interested to see who they hire. OU Owns, you said Spurrier showed what USC can become. I believe it absolutely can be done again. You need the right guy and great players. That takes time. It's not impossible. Heck, UTSA is 10-0. So it can't happen. Yeah, they've had a good year. They've had a really good year. So, again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in, man. This has been a ton of fun. The Daily Crow's been a massive success, man. It really has. We've been doing it for over a year now, and obviously we started the 2-hour shows at the beginning of football season, and to call it a success would be selling it short. So again, without you guys, even the Coach Fords of the world, even the Chad Rogers, but all of you that tune in on a daily basis, man, that rock and roll what we do. I will say this too, man. I'm thinking, got some big plans for Clemson. Got some big plans. Might be doing a pregame show, some other things as well. A lot of extra bonus content, I would say, next week. Going to really try to have content overload next week again for rivalry week, because, of course, we didn't get it last year. Going to be a good time. And I'm really looking forward to it, guys. Really, truly am. OU Owns, you says Clemson's going to lose to USC Women's basketball and football this year. Haha. Yeah, dude. Knock on wood, I'm game. Jeremy Laffaday says, Vatek going to go pick up Urban Meyer. Nah. I will be intrigued to see who they get, though, because Vatek's a proud program. Vatek is a very, very proud program. Yeah, so. Aaron Hodges, are we believing that Beamer will get us back to that level? Well, Aaron, I mean, you'd like to think you wouldn't have hired the guy if you did not see that potential, right? I mean, if you didn't at least feel like it was possible. Hey, Shane Beamer seen this program at its best. He was there. He literally recruited the talent that was on the roster. So if anybody can do it, why not Shane? Why not Beamer Ball? In Columbia, South Carolina. Folks, hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for letting me ramble and rant here on this Wednesday, guys. I truly appreciate you, each and every single one of you that tune in, that rock with the show, rock with the content, rock with everything we do. Hey, live tonight at 10 Roof, 5 to 7. We'll basically do it all over again, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and hanging out with the homies at 10 Roof. $3 drafts, 50-cent wings, $3 rumples. You guys know the drill. Going to be an absolute blast. Going to be an absolute blast, guys. Again, hope to see you there. Definitely come on out. Going to be a good time. And if you can't do that, we'll be streaming it live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You all know the drill. Folks, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk to you later today.